live on CBC. Hockey Night in Canada. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
Welcome back to GM Place. Chris Cuthbert and Greg Millen in the Jim Robson gondola. And there is Sean Burke, who beat the former team on Wednesday, the Florida Panthers. He will try to do likewise tonight against another team. He played in '98 here in Vancouver. And there's Felix Potvin, who came within 4.7 seconds of back-to-back shutouts when he defeated Calgary on Wednesday. Don Van Massenhoven, Brad Watson are the referees, Mark Wheeler and Randy Mittner on the lines. Greg, two red-hot teams, both riding three-game winning streaks.
That should be a fun one. You know, both these two teams can skate as well, so I expect the tempo will be quick and furious here early.
Bob Francis and Mark Crawford start banging lines as Matt Cook, Dennis Peterson, and Donald Brashear returns to the Vancouver lineup. Start up front against Wyatt Smith, Landon Wilson, and the former Canuck Brad May, who chases after the puck and nails Matt Cook. Smith has it, centering it, comes back to the point, nets cash, shot kicked out by Potvin, to the line, kept in by Suchi, and the puck stays deep in the Vancouver zone. There's a coin on Brad May, who said he'd be energetic tonight in his return to Vancouver. Here's Brashear, who missed a game against Calgary Wednesday with a tender knee, but is back tonight and on a hit against Smith. Landon Wilson doubling back behind his net, chased by Brashear. Radoslav Suchi up on the right side, fanned on by Green, and nearly a chance for Andrew Castles, who comes over the boards with Markus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi. Here's Travis Green, the Castlegar BC native, into Vancouver territory, ridden off the puck. Played by Shane Doan behind the net. Jovanovski's there, has his pocket picked by Joey Juneau. Here's Juneau in front. Newman couldn't shovel it across, and the Canucks get it out to center.
Good banging, good tempo early here as both teams put out their banging line to start the game. No Roenick yet.
Vancouver Canucks are 5-2. The Phoenix Coyotes are 5-1. Here's Tkachuk over the line. Drops it off. Alatalo's shot rolling through and covered by Potvin.
And the Roenick line is now on the ice. One thing that Bobby Francis likes about this group is he has two skilled lines and then two banging lines afterwards. And he's quite happy the way the mix has worked out up front for the Phoenix Coyotes. And Shane Doan is on the power play on the point, if you can imagine. So that'll be a different look. And Newman is paired with him on the point on the power play, the #1 power play in the National Hockey League. So the Vancouver Canucks will have to be very aware in their discipline tonight. They don't want to get into penalty trouble against this team.
The unsung Teppo Numminen, all his points this season have come on the power play, and the Canucks will be well advised to stay out of the box tonight, because Phoenix has really ridden their power play to this 5-1 record, which is the best 6-game start in franchise history. Jeremy Roenick on the ice with 499 career assists. Jovanovski out there expected to log more ice time, with Matthias Ohlund out for 4 to 6 weeks after the eye surgery yesterday. There's Alatalo in deep. He is the line mate for Roenick, and Tkachuk in front for Tkachuk. Couldn't get his stick on it. Peter Schaefer banks it off the inboards. Peterson and Tkachuk after it. Tkachuk wins that puck. Alatalo behind the net. Tkachuk looking for space in front, and Potvin stopped him, and Jovanovski's away. Got to the red line and a shoot in on Burke, who shut out Vancouver the last time he met the Canucks in their last meeting of the 99-2000 season. There's Brian Helmer in the lineup for the first time for Vancouver, and he gets the icing call.
Well, Vancouver's pretty well kept their lines intact so far. Donald Brashear is back after nursing a bit of a sore knee. He did miss one game, the Calgary game. Now the Seden twins, for me, just keep getting better and better and better each game. And certainly they put on quite a show in this building against the Calgary Flames the other night. And on defense, as Kelly Rudy mentioned in our opening, Ed Jovanovski will see a lot more minutes on the blue line for sure now that Matthias Ohlund is going to be out for about a month anyway. So certainly Jovanovski is a big part of this hockey club in this young season.
Jovanovski off to a solid start. Now a face-off in the Phoenix zone.
Jovanovski's really jumping in late. Look, we got the other defenseman way out wide. 4 players up front, 1 back. Let's see how it works. Well, you have to win the draw first to make it work.
Trevor Letowski back in the Phoenix lineup. Played his first game on Wednesday night and set up the winner in overtime against Florida after a training camp holdout. That's number 10, and he can really fly. An outstanding rookie year, 19 goals and 39 points. Superb penalty killing. He had 7 shorthanded points on the penalty kill in a rookie year. Now Naslund is in. He couldn't beat the steady Newmanen. Played ahead for Travis Green, and now Shane Doan tripped up at center ice, and the Canucks regain possession. There's one of those former Kamloops Blazers, Jason Strudwick, out at center ice. The puck picked off by Joey Juneau, who has the game-winning goal in the last 2 starts for Phoenix. Strudwick in the corner, gets it to Adrian Aucoin. Up ahead off the stick of Castles to Big Bertuzzi. He'll play it in deep, and Burke has to leave the net. Bertuzzi gets on it quickly. Centering pass went off a skate. Now Henrik Sedin's on the ice along with Trent Klatt. Klatt just signing a new 2-year extension and has become a fixture on the line with the Sedins. Here's Henrik winding up. Rebound. Daniel Seden comes up with it. Canucks buzzing in the Phoenix zone. 4 were in deep. Now Aucoin retreats to the point. There's Klatt in the corner. Plays it along the boards. Daniel Seden picks up the chase. Tkachuk throws it in front. Got it to Kearney. And the Canucks, or the Coyotes, play it out. Here's Tkachuk onto a loose puck. Keith Tkachuk for Alatalo. He was checked by Murray Barron, a former Phoenix Coyote, and now Steve Correa trying to speed down the ice. He's slowed up. And play called on the offside at the Phoenix line.
Well, the Phoenix Coyotes have been finding ways to win so far in this early season. They've been getting tremendous goaltending from Sean Burke, and then on Wednesday night against the Florida Panthers, they storm back to tie the game up, and then in overtime, Joey Juneau sits right in front of the net, and he makes no mistake for the win. Joe Juneau has been a wonderful pickup for the Phoenix Coyotes. You know, he's a handy guy. I got to see him a lot last year when I was doing a lot of work for the Ottawa Senators, and you can use him in any situation. He's a great penalty killer. He's fine on the power play. Defensively, he's sound, and I know the Senators really do miss him.
And he talked fondly about his stay in Ottawa, that he wanted to stay, enjoyed playing for Jacques Martin, and really thinks highly of the Senators, but he was left exposed in the waiver draft, and nobody expected he'd be picked up. And yet he was by Minnesota, then immediately dealt here, and now he is happy in Phoenix. And I thought, here's a guy, Greg, that has a lot of offensive talent. First time he's played in the more wide open Western Conference.
Yeah, and he said he didn't think there was much difference between the West and the East, and I'm not so sure, but he'd know more than I do, because he just came from the East and now, of course, back in the West. But a handy player, and he'll be an important part of this power play, and he is, and we'll watch it here tonight. He loves to play on the half boards on their power play.
Approaching the 5-minute mark, and Tkachuk roars away for the Coyotes. Looks across, and a shot on with Alatalo driving to the net. Roenick looking for it. Now plays it to Alatalo. Cook on him. Mika Alatalo, the designated winger at least to start the year with Tkachuk and Roenick. Here's Alatalo firing it right on, and the rebound swept to the line, and it bounces out. Played back in by Voninen offside.
Well, the head coach, Bobby Francis, has a couple of chores this year. First of all, of course, to get his team off to a good start, and then secondly, to make sure his team continues to keep the focus at the job in hand with all the off-ice distractions once again going on in Phoenix. This time, of course, the sale concerning Wayne Gretzky, and it's an interesting franchise. It's not the first time, Chris, that they've had to go through adversity and sales and everything else, and I really commend Bobby Smith for the class job that he has done. It's reported that he will not be around if the Gretzky group does get the team, but all Bobby Smith has been doing is going about his business in a very classy manner, and doing a good job, by the way, as well.
Has been running this team as if it's not for sale, and it is status quo.
And the big question in that regard is, do they have the money? And that is a big question, the new group.
Scott Russell will have more on that later tonight. Sean Burke, one of Bobby Smith's signings.
Well, what a great story that is. You know, Sean Burke at training camp once again did not have a job. He was skating at Sylvan Lake with all his buddies in Calgary in their organization. He was skating there and then didn't have any more ice because they all left for training camp. So what did he do? He said, I might as well go to Phoenix, catch some sun, and skate with the Coyote group and guys before the season. So he did that for a week, grabbed some sun, skated with the Phoenix Coyote group, and then all of a sudden from there, he got a cell phone call from Bobby Smith saying, how would you like to play goal again this year? He did a deal, and lo and behold, he's starring for the Phoenix Coyotes. And as you can see, we have an ice problem at the moment, so we will take a break. While this is going on, you're watching Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Donald Brashear missed the last game with a knee problem, but you know he is back tonight as he took out a pane of glass that they're working on. I never knew they needed a ladder to fix the ice here.
I thought it was a great throw to commercial, then they're having a ladder come out. I thought it was the ice, but you're right, it was the glass, and let's see what happened. Brashear here with a big hit, and yes, it knocked that seamless glass just enough to cause a delay, but we're back going here. Face off to the left of Sean Burke.
Brendan Morrison on this face-off.
You just had to get me on that one, didn't you?
I knew you felt good about that throw to commercial. Now Schaefer on the line with Morrison and Correa. Speed line for the Canucks that has been effective in the opening 7 games of the year. Hotman leaving it for Strudwick. The Coyotes are changing as it's played ahead for Schaefer at center. He'll backhanded in on Burke, who has been impeccable in the early going this year. They say out of the 8 goals he's allowed, 1's been soft. Here's a quick shot by Morrison testing Sean Burke, who I don't think was very fond of his stay in Vancouver. It was short-lived, and just 2 wins in 9 games here in Vancouver before him being moved to Philadelphia. Now Bertuzzi stepped into a shot that didn't get through, and Roenick starts back. Here's JR over the line to Tkachuk, the backhand, stopped by Potvin, and the first penalty of the game is going against the Vancouver Canucks. You're watching Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Canucks get into penalty trouble there. Ooh, I got the circle, I can't clear it. There we go. Anyway, it was right in the middle of the ice. And again, the crackdown and obstruction of the neutral zone once again takes hold.
9 power play goals for Phoenix this year. Roenick has 3, Tkachuk has 3, and they flank Travis Green, one of the top face-off men in the NHL. Tries to tie up his man, but the Canucks are able to clear it by Shane Doan, the right point man, along with Numminen, back on the point on the power play.
And what that does is create a point shot with authority, as Doan can really shoot the puck from the point.
Canucks have killed 80% of penalties so far this season. An offside at the line, 20 seconds in.
And why don't we have a quick peek at the Phoenix power play and their setup. There is the big shot from the point. Of course, as always, Tkachuk in front, and he is a dangerous guy. 3 power play goals. 3 power play goals for Roenick, who loves to work behind the net. And then a real good playmaker in Juno, and another one over here in Numminen. And that's why they've had so much success in this season on the power play.
There's the Halkirk, Alberta native. Tried a little bit last year on the point on the power play. This season has been more of a fixture. Here's Tkachuk. Plays it back. Now Doan looking for Travis Green in deep. He'll play it back. Here's Roenick and Tkachuk behind the net. Challenged by Barron to the line, kept in by Doan. It's Teppo Numminen stepping up. Numminen takes a look. Eyed by Peterson and Assels, the Vancouver penalty killer. Hands off to Tkachuk. Now Green back to Numminen. Cross ice, one-timer Doan tipped wide. Roenick in front of the net. Tkachuk battles, but the Canucks are up with it. And Castles headmans to Jovanovski. Back to Castles on the left side. They both peel off the other Vancouver forwards. Castles loses possession, but the puck slides to the Vancouver line and pounded back down the ice by Jovanovski. 40 seconds left in Markus Naslund's minor.
And a very good penalty kill so far for the Vancouver Canucks by creating a lot of pressure on the puck in their own zone.
Now Numanen. Vananen sends it in, the rookie, on the second power play squad. Matt Cook off the boards and out. John Burke flips it ahead as Vancouver changes its penalty killing unit. Landon Wilson. Now to Alatalo. Wilson over the line. He's checked. Turned away by Brashear. And Mark Crawford told us this morning he wants to deploy Brashear in a penalty killing role as much as possible. And that's been one of the strengths of the Canucks so far this year, Greg. So many players on the Canucks are involved in the special teams.
And in the scoring. It's been a total team effort as the coaching staff are using 4 lines and 6 defense and rolling them over.
And no shots on that power play. But with so much specialty team time involved in games, a lot of teams complaining that they're only getting 2 lines on the ice. That hasn't been a problem in Vancouver. Here's Morrison playing it back to Adrian Aucoin, who's +8 in the early season. Back down the ice it goes, and Stan Netzkat. Paired with Suchi. Radoslav Suchi high in the air to the Vancouver line. There's Strudwick. Up ahead for Klatt. Broken up. Strudwick lost the puck. And now the Coyotes play it in deep. That's Mike Sullivan after it. Louis DeBrusque also out there. Klatt along the boards. He's tied up by Netzkat. And Aucoin regains possession for Vancouver. Under 10.5 minutes remaining in the first period. A giveaway in front of the net, but it's knocked away, and Daniel Seden starts out for the Canucks. He peels off to the bench after the shoot-in, and Netzkash to set things up for Phoenix. Netzkash ejected from the game Wednesday after an altercation with Len Barry. Didn't have the sweater tied down and was out for the rest of the night. Potvin plays it ahead on the left side. Brashear takes a look. Missed Cook with the pass. This rolls the length of the ice. And Vananen will come back to get it. Jyrki Lume, the former Vancouver Canuck. He's off to a terrific start. One of the top scoring defensemen in the league so far. Vananen. Back to Wyatt Smith as Vananen got nailed. Big rookie, though, starts out. Lume on the near side to the Vancouver line. Drops it off. Landon Wilson right on. And the rebound smothered by Potvin. 9:22 to go in the first period. You're watching Hockey Night in Canada. Brought to you by Labatt Blue.
A nice talk with Felix Potvin this morning. And the one thing that he's changed since last week when he was struggling a little bit was in fact that he's just trying to stay square in the net and not move quite as much and anticipate shots against him. And certainly on that play, he just held his ground and was in perfect position to make the save.
Well, he was perfect last Saturday. And almost a repeat feat on Wednesday night. That's got to be gut-wrenching for a goaltender to lose a shutout in a game that's been won with 4 seconds to go. But the Cat is back. Here's Bertuzzi battling with the side of the net. Now Naslund follows up. Missed that point pass, and LeChance has to go back to get it. Talk about the balance on this Canuck team. Play has been called, and we're going to join Scott Russell.
Thanks very much, Chris. Here's Dr. Bill Regan of the Canucks medical staff to update us on the injury to Mattias Ohlund. You know, yesterday at the practice rink in Burnaby, Mattias showed up for the team picture, and then after the picture for Mattias Ohlund, it was off to get the surgery. Dr. Regan, exactly what was involved and how long has he gone?
Well, Scott, he had a procedure done to relieve the pressure on the inner orbit of his eye by having a tube placed from that orbit to the outer chamber of the eye, and the procedure went extremely well. It was totally uncomplicated, and he's recovering very nicely at this time.
So about 4 to 6 weeks, we hear a lot of people are worried about eye injuries, what would happen to Brian Berard of the Leafs. Is this something that in the long term could threaten Ohlund's career?
No, if it was you and I, we'd be back to work immediately, but he, being in a contact sport, has got to take 4 to 6 weeks for this to heal, but this in no way will threaten his career in any way at all.
Dr. Regan, good news, and we hope the best for Mattias Ohlund. Thanks very much for that.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Dr. Bill Regan, guys.
Thank you, Scott. And in a moment, we will see the Vancouver Canucks power play for the first time tonight.
And slashing, again, the call, you know, slashing penalties as of last Sunday up almost 170%, Chris. To give you an idea of how the officials have been after the slashes to anywhere above the waist. And Keith Tkachuk, who has done a lot of slashing in his day, will have to really watch the way he plays now. Any tap at all and you're in the penalty box.
That's interesting because he said he took too much abuse last year and he threatened to retaliate when he got a shot or two. Certainly that's not a retaliation. It's just a straight slash on Korea.
And Bobby Francis doesn't like it much, but they're going to call it. Anything above the waist every time. Now, one thing that the penalty or the power play has been successful doing in terms of the Vancouver Canucks is just getting the puck back to the point, creating traffic in front, and shooting from the point. Let's see if Vancouver continue to do it here.
Now, last Saturday, going into the game, the Canucks were 2 for 23, really struggling on the power play. Well, since then, 5 for 19, they've turned it around. Here's Castles playing it in, Naslund going after it. Pete Carney's there for Phoenix. Pushed by him, and now Castles will take over. Swings it out to a coin. Here's the shot right on. Rebound, and Naslund couldn't get a backhand away. Bertuzzi with the steal, but the Coyotes get it back, and Latowski plays it to the Vancouver line. Phoenix on a change, give Bertuzzi room, and he fires right on. Naslund on the far side. It comes around to Bertuzzi. Trying to ward off Suchi. It's played to a coin with room. Here's the shot, tipped wide. Nice play by a coin who spotted Castles alone at the side of the net. That was more of a pass to be directed. Now a coin shoots it, and it's sent down the ice by Phoenix.
You're absolutely right, Chris. That's a shot from the point, and he's shooting for the tip, not shooting to hit the net. And a smart play by a coin.
Of course, a coin with 23 goals 2 years ago, 10 last year. Played high off the glass, past Jovanovski, and into the Vancouver zone. 7 minutes to go, first period, and now a half-minute remaining in the penalty to Keith Tkachuk. Here's Jovanovski to Brian Helmer, making his Vancouver debut and a short stay with the Phoenix Coyotes 2 years ago. Helmer wears number 28 at the left point. Jovanovski, and it hopped over his stick, and that is offside at the line.
Well, Helmer's a great story because he's been hanging around the minors for about 8 years. 5 years in the New Jersey Devil organization. He has been up a couple of times, St. Louis, his latest stint. But the neat part about Helmer is, you know, he never made major junior A hockey. He played 6 games for the Belleville Bulls and then played 4 years, if you can imagine that, for Wellington, the Tier 2A hockey. He went right from there and then was picked up by the New Jersey Devils. And what a great story that is. A coin with that last shot, that shot for the tip from the point. And that was a good one. Let's see if we can pick that up. Often defensemen will do this, and it's very hard in a goalie because you have to play the shot. Look at the position the coin is in. And there's the tip and the shot for the tip, and it almost worked. And Sean Burke had to play the point shot, not the player beside him. It was a smart move by a coin that almost worked.
15 seconds remaining in Tkachuk's penalty. And from the faceoff, it rolls towards Burke. Daniel Seden riding a 5-game point streak. His brother Henrik has goals in the last 2. Now Tkachuk stepped back onto the ice as plays headed in his direction. At the line, it's an offside called by Randy Mitten.
And the Sedens, as I mentioned, continue to get better and better and better. And in talking to Daniel Seden this morning, I asked him why, you know, their skill level is so great. He said, well, a couple of things. First of all, as a minor hockey player, we always worked on our skating every day with a puck, but we always skated. And the best thing about it was, he said, we lived right beside an outdoor rink, and we played every day in the outdoor rink. It was at their school. And I said, how long did you have ice for outside? He said, well, about 6 months. And that's a big difference from a couple of weeks, or, you know, for the most part across Canada, that you might get in an outdoor rink in some areas. So certainly they learned their skills basically from just playing shinny hockey outside, like so many Canadian kids have done.
From the same hometown as the captain, Markus Naslund. He remembers a couple of whippersnappers hanging around the rink when he was a little bit older and one of the big guys in town. Hronek spotting Tkachuk loose on the left side, and Alatalo was just ahead of the play, offside. Five minutes, 49 seconds to go in the first period. Still scoreless in Vancouver. The Canucks just called the two-line offside pass.
Well, as I mentioned, Donald Brashear was not playing against Calgary the other night. He's been having trouble with his one leg. So this morning he was out early working on his game. And the one thing about Donald Brashear, he's made himself into a hockey player, not just a tough guy. And this is how you make yourself into a hockey player. You get out early and you work on your game. Look at all the pucks he was shooting this morning early on before the rest of the team came on the ice.
Lume lofting that over the glass and into the seats.
Again, tough guys get in the league because they're tough, but then you have to stay in the league. And to stay in the league, you better be able to play. And Donald Brashear has worked on his skills and in his game so that he can not only be tough, but also play in the league.
Trying to get a gauge on the color of the sideburns tonight. Tough with the helmet on. That helmet may come off before the night's over. Matt Cook to face off with Jeremy Hronek. Hronek named to the all-time top 18 of the Chicago Blackhawks in honor of their 75th anniversary as a franchise. Here's Hronek to Lume, firing it off the blocker of Potvin. Jovanovski flipping it ahead. Cook is on it, couldn't get possession. Tkachuk tried to swing it back in, can't cross the line. Rookie Vananen playing alongside the veteran Lume. Now Murray Barron, who scored the other night, headmans to Korea, one of only 3 Canucks who has not scored. I guess you make it 4 now that Helmer's in the lineup. But Vancouver with 16 different goal scorers, that's tops in the National Hockey League. Phoenix is tied for second. They have 13 different goal scorers in the first 7 games. Now Korea gets it to Morrison. Strudwick ahead at center ice. Here's Jason Strudwick, another one of the non-goal scorers, looking for one here. Ridden off the puck by Suchi. And the Coyotes will start back. Big Landon Wilson. 5 points already this season, more than he had all last year with the Boston Bruins. He'll play it in back of the net. A coin tries to sweep it around the boards, and it gets by Netcash and out to the Phoenix line. Suchi backhanding it in, knocked down there by LaChance. Suchi again, trying for Wyatt Smith. Elmer out. Got it to the captain, Naslund. Markus Naslund to LaChance. He's checked by Brad May. Wyatt Smith looking for a loose puck, and now Naslund pulls away. Naslund for Castles at the line. Shoveling it into the corner. Naslund after it there. Numanen around the boards, off the ledge, and onto the stick of LaChance. Too far for Bertuzzi. Bodied there by Landon Wilson. A couple of big wingers and a penalty coming up. Here's LaChance stepping up. Delayed call. Burke knocked it into the corner. As Potvin left for an extra attacker. A Canuck power play when we come back.
We see it so often in hockey. Players at the end of a shift sometimes just do something that's undisciplined. And here's what happens to Landon Wilson. He's tired. He's fighting it out with Todd Bertuzzi. There's a scrum, and then he takes one extra shot there. And that's why he's in the penalty box for roughing, although they called boarding before that, and I guess that was the initial call. But another power play here for Vancouver.
Here's Jovanovski, a shot through traffic as Klatt provided the screen in front. And now Jovanovski back to get it. The Sedens are up front. Here's a lead pass for Klatt, but the play offside.
Well, right off the face-off, a good chance to score again for the Canucks, and I can't say it enough. They've simplified their power play just from throwing it back to the point and shooting it on goal. And Sean Burke has been very good so far at looking at traffic, the pucks through traffic.
Trent Klatt, a great story. Was put on waivers last year, went down to the minors, regained a scoring touch.
Here's a good example. The Canucks win the scrum off the draw. 3 players go in to do it. and then a quick shot that redirects right in front of Sean Burke, and he was very sharp to make that save.
Jovanovski to get things going. Coin, the other point men. We know how hard he can fire it. Klatt trying to sift it through for Daniel Seden, who is tied up. Klatt follows up. They crash along the boards. Newman knocks it loose. Now the Coyotes to the line. Jovanovski's there. Daniel Seden to the net. Burke knocked it down. Klatt back out. Jovanovski. Sullivan out on him. Now he gets it to a coin. Here's the shot right on. Rebound. Henrik Seden's after it. Took that stick or the puck up in the face. Stays on the ice. Knocks it down. Centers it. Trent Klatt. Daniel Seden. Back out to Henrik. Jovanovski cheating down, and the puck bounced over his stick. 44 seconds left in the power play. Jovanovski for a skate. Stops. Shot deflected. Over the outstretched glove of Burke. They throw it around. In front. Deflected right onto Burke. Good pressure by Vancouver. Carney tied up. Daniel Seden won't let him clear it. Henrik's got it again. Good work by the Sedens. Daniel Seden now back into his brother. Klatt's in front. So is it called. Oh, and he whipped it just wide. Jovanovski called for it. Shot. That's blocked. And Letowski finally clears.
That power play is successful because every time there was a loose puck, there were 3 Vancouver Canuck players on the puck to win the puck back.
Penalty over. Wilson back on the ice. And here goes Tkachuk. One-on-one against LaChance. And the Canucks scramble back quickly, and Morrison took the puck away. Peter Schaefer, rink wide. There's Correa on the right wing. Quick pivot by Correa. Now Schaefer spins off Alatalo, trying to come out in front. Knocked off his stick. Correa. Bodied by Vananen. Now into the final minute of the first period. Morrison away with the puck. Tkachuk sprawls. Morrison holds on. Now Helmer. And that shot deflecting off the glass. Bouncing down for Correa. He's knocked off it. And Roenick starts back. Here's Tkachuk. Over the line. Behind Alatalo. Tkachuk. Off the skate of Schaefer. Caromming right to Roenick. He's checked by Helmer. Helmer knocked down. Roenick back on it. Jeremy Roenick with a shot. And Potvin was going the other way, but made the stop. 20 seconds left in the period. Deflected in by Schaefer as the Canucks change.
It's a big stop for Potvin here with 20 seconds to go in the period on Roenick. Right in a good shooting position.
Jovanovski got to it first. Shots are 10-6 Vancouver. As the clock winds down, a pretty well-paced opening period.
Good goaltending, good special teams, and a pretty solid period by both teams defensively.
6 saves by Felix Potvin, the best in the final minute. 10 stops by Sean Burke of the Phoenix Coyotes. And after 20 minutes in Vancouver, the Coyotes and the Canucks are scoreless.
Back in Vancouver, scoreless after one period of play. The inspiring story of Trent Klatt. Congratulations on a 2-year contract extension. And how'd you like the first period?
Well, it's a pretty good period. You know, we knew they were going to come out. They're a very, very highly skilled, very talented team. And, you know, we have to play our game, not worried about their star players, and just do the things that we're capable of doing.
You've been asked to play a role with 2 developing talents in the Seden twins, and you've responded to that. How are you trying to handle that situation?
Just trying to keep up with them. You know, they're very highly skilled. They're not afraid to go in the corner and work the cycle. And we got to do a little better job of coming out of the corner and getting a few more shots. So.
Do you see a tremendous upside to their talent?
Absolutely. I mean, they're only 20 years old, and they've come an awful long way in just a month or so that they've been here, and they're going to have a long career, and they're going to get a lot better.
Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way, Trent.
Thank you very much.
There's Trent Klatt of the Vancouver Canucks. Coming up next, more on the Phoenix Coyotes sail here at Scoreless After One as Hockey Night in Canada continues coast to coast. Back in Vancouver after 20 minutes of play at GM Place, it's scoreless between the Canucks and the Coyotes. Ownership is an issue in Phoenix. Last year, the playoffs deal appeared to be done. Steve Ellman with Wayne Gretzky as an ally, poised to take control from Richard Burke. Ellman has land in Scottsdale, and that's the proposed site of a new arena. The Coyotes appeared to be set, but the deal is not yet done. December the 31st has been set as the drop deadline for the sale to be completed, and a lot could change. Nikolai Khabibulin could be back. Claude Lemieux is waiting in the wings, and the future of Bobby Smith, the general manager, is very uncertain. Uncertainty seems to be the word of the day for the Phoenix Coyotes, and here's a reaction from some of the players.
It hasn't been talked about a lot, but it's not like anybody's consciously made an effort to not talk about it either. We just haven't really said much about it in the room. It's just been a matter of going out and playing hockey, and like I said earlier, you know, we joke about it a little bit, and there's things come up every now and then, but as far as the team goes, you know, especially now that we're winning, we're playing pretty well, you know, guys don't want to get the focus off on other things. They just want to play hockey.
Well, you know, I think that's one of the things that we got to make sure we just keep winning. If we keep winning, it makes it hard to make too many decisions or too many changes. We like the group of guys that we have in the dressing room, and we're not too worried about that. We can't really control it. If they want to make changes, they're going to make changes, whether, like I said, whether we want them or not. So we just got to make sure that we keep winning and make any decisions as hard as they can.
The word from Shane Doan of the Phoenix Coyotes. Bob McManaman covers the Coyotes for the Arizona Republic, has covered this story from stem to stern, and I want to know, will the sale be done, and if so, what's your best bet on when?
I'd love to say Halloween, and as I've said earlier, trick or treat. Maybe, maybe not. I'm thinking by Halloween or the day or two after that, it will get done. Gretz will finally get to come in, do what he wants to do, clean house, add who he wants to add, and they're waiting. They're all there, or we're all waiting. The money's there. It's been tied up in the banks. It's going to get done finally, and we can concentrate on hockey.
I want to ask you about that because the Coyotes are off to their best start in franchise history. Sean Burke has been great in net. Nikolai Khabibulin has held the team and the franchise and the people of Phoenix up to a certain extent. What's the popular sentiment? If the Coyotes are going well, do they want the house cleaning regardless?
You know, it's interesting. If I'm the Coyotes, I want to keep Sean Burke. He's making 1.3. That's not very much. I mean, he took a $1 million pay cut to come in here and be the starter again for Nick, who's out for 94 games now. That's how long it's been. Nick's not going to get the money he wants. But if I'm the Coyotes, I want Nick as my starter. As good as Sean Burke is, I don't think he's the guy for the long haul, especially in the playoffs. Nicky hasn't played for a while. I'd go with him.
What about the symbolic gesture that is done here, the sale of the Coyotes and the people wanting it to be complete? Why is that important symbolically to hockey fans and to the National Hockey League?
I'll tell you, because that's a hockey town, believe it or not, and it's getting better every year, and you've got a melting pot of people who come to Phoenix to retire there from New York, Chicago, Little Thunder Bay, Ontario. They come there, they love hockey, they want to see their players, their teams, and they're becoming Coyote fans. The whiteout, you've seen it. It's and with 99 there, what's not to love? It needs to be there. And you know what? For Winnipeg, for the team that already lost a franchise, we can't let them lose it again to another city. And there will be a team in Portland, but it won't be the Coyotes.
And a quick word on this. Also, the NHL, I would think, would want Wayne Gretzky to be involved with something that's solid. Is that right?
Well, you can't tarnish that image, and Gretzky won't allow that to be tarnished. He's been through a lot, and he's done. You have not seen that name or that image tarnished, and it's not going to happen now. I think there's a lot of miscommunication. There's been a lot of uncertainty. But once it gets done, people are going to forget about this mess, concentrate on number 99, his team, and finally they'll get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Bob, thanks very much.
I can't believe I said that.
Thanks very much for filling us in on this, and I hope everything goes well.
You bet.
Bob McManaman of the Arizona Republic on the sale of the Phoenix Coyotes. As Bob says, he hopes it's done by Halloween. Right now, let's send you to Ron McLean.
Well, Scott, the Calgary Flames are trying to even their record at 500 tonight at the Pengrowth Saddledome, facing the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are coming off a 4-1 win Thursday at Edmonton. And it was a raucous opening few minutes. Bodies flying everywhere, and here's a good example of that as the Flames come out hitting. But Toronto gets on the board early. Steve Thomas with this shot catching Mike Vernon going the wrong way. Sundin with the assist, and it's 1-0, 33 seconds in. Then Toronto on a scrambly goal. Poor Wade Belak. The kid was playing defense tonight with Brad Warrenk out of the lineup, and no fault of his own. They gave it to Domi eventually. 2-0 Toronto. Steve Thomas gets whacked by Jason Weimer. Goes back at Weimer. Flames bench has their say. And then it's all Curtis Joseph from that point, especially in the second period. Joseph, tremendous when Calgary got 4 straight power plays. And they outshot Toronto for that stretch 14-2, but they couldn't solve Joseph until the third period. Jerome McGinley, who was a runner-up for the Calder Trophy to Brian Berard, scores the only Calgary goal. Joseph then protects that 2-1 lead. Tommy Albaline and Savard assisted on Jerome McGinley's goal. Curtis Joseph 19-5-3 now against Calgary. Leafs won it 2-1.
Right, Ron, Leafs are raiding the West but couldn't beat Vancouver. Here is scoreless between the Coyotes and Canucks after 1.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada brought to you by the Ford family of SUVs, no boundaries, and by Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning. Next Saturday on Hockey Night in Canada, Game 1 from Boston, where the Bruins will try to stop Matt Sundin and the Leafs from taking the win. Then in Game 2, a rematch from Week 1, Edmonton travels to Mile High, Colorado to set the record straight. It all starts with Labatt Saturday night, next Saturday at 6:30 Eastern.
Back with Kelly Rudy and just a little bit further on Wayne Gretzky. He was here in Vancouver for a celebrity tennis tournament last night, but he left Vancouver today. He wasn't around the Coyotes until the ownership issue is settled. He won't spend a lot of time in direct involvement with the team. But to bring up that celebrity tennis tournament, Kelly, once you get into a building, and a lot of NHL buildings host other events, once hockey gets back, it makes for some interesting play.
Yeah, and if you're a goalie, you have to be prepared for bad bounces after events like this. Now, you're going to see the Coyotes shoot the puck in. Now, look at by the O on Tim Hortons. The puck is going to take a crazy hop right there and go behind Felix Potvin. Oops, so now he has to get back in the net. Now, further in the game, the Coyotes on the power play now, the same thing happens. Hits the boards and goes back, but Potvin's smart enough to learn his lesson there. But you know what's interesting about that play is because that was the first period. Now going into the second, obviously Sean Burke has that end. Now, did he watch that? Did he remember it? And is he going to be careful?
You know, we talked about the fact that Mark Crawford was coaching this team and pulling all kinds of strings to get the Canucks off to a fast start. One of the things that he likes to do is get out of his own end quickly and efficiently.
Well, I know Mark's a pretty humble guy, so he doesn't want to say that he's a big reason why guys do this. But look at that first pass by Strudwick, right onto the tape of a coin. Now look at the choices a coin has. To Bertuzzi, maybe a little dangerous, can be intercepted, but no, he's going to go right up the middle, right on the tape again, and right from there back to Bertuzzi and out of the zone. And so when I asked Mark Crawford that this morning, he said to me, no, that's Pat Quinn, that's all Toronto. A lot of guys, it's a copycat league. But you know what? He's not giving himself enough credit because Mark's a big influence in this game.
All right, Mark Crawford has the Canucks in a 0-0 tie with the Phoenix Coyotes after 1 period of play. Now for the second, let's go upstairs and join Chris Cuthbert and Greg Miller.
Scott, it's the first time this season that the Vancouver Canucks have not scored in the first period. And now we move to period 2, which has been the best for the Phoenix Coyotes this year. They've outscored their opposition 12-3 in the middle frame. Brendan Morrison, Korea. Start up front with Peter Schaefer against Travis Green, Joey Juneau, and Shane Doan. Scott LaChance in behind the Vancouver net. 10-6 were the shots in the first period in favor of Vancouver. 2 apiece for the defenseman Adrian Aucoin and Ed Jovanovski, who led Vancouver in ice time. Jovanovski's in for more work, Greg, with Matthias Ohlund out, as Jovanovski played 9 minutes and 11 seconds in the first period.
So the 27 minutes that Ohlund logs every night perhaps will be in Jovanovski's pocket if he continues to play as much as he did in the first period. He's a big guy. I'm sure he can handle it. And what I like about his game this year and perhaps the second half of last year is he settled it down. He makes things much easier. He's not running all over the place. When he does jump into the play, he picks his spots. He just doesn't run in every time.
And that's exactly what he said this morning. Less is more. And that's one of the things, I guess, when you get to your 6th year in the league, you start to realize. I don't know if that's a magic number, but Jovanovski is playing very well in this, his 6th year. And year number 5 for Todd Bertuzzi and Shane Doan were really breakthrough seasons. And I think it takes 5 years to really make your mark in this league.
Let's look at the Ottawa Senators and all the kids they had to wait for. Radek Voss, a great example. I would have traded him 10 times, and now he's a star for that team. And all due respect to Radek, just because he didn't look like he could play in the league for long.
Bertuzzi just ran over a man, and Tkachuk is stopped on a point-blank shot by Potvin. It was Roenick that took the receiving end of that big collision with number 44, Todd Bertuzzi. Now Tkachuk leaves it for Roenick, who starts back again. Roenick one shy of 500 NHL assists. Shot right on Potvin, and the rebound out to Markus Naslund. He looks ahead to Castles, who's loose, and just stopped by Kearney, who knocked it away as Castles was cutting in. Roenick finally goes to the bench after that big hit by Bertuzzi. Now Brad May in, but Newman was late, vacating the zone, and better get another look at that big collision. 44 got the best of it.
Well, that's how Todd Bertuzzi has to play. He goes to the net with authority, and in terms of his forechecking, he wants to get on the body, and he gives Roenick a pretty good ride on that last play. Roenick's been known to dish out a few of those as well. The coaching staff of the Vancouver Canucks talked this morning about the first pass and how good it is for the Phoenix Coyotes. Well, how do you eliminate the first pass? You get on the body and then just take them right away from that first pass. And so far, Vancouver has done that. It's usually doing it on Roenick that time.
Brad May back on the ice with Wyatt Smith and Landon Wilson right on. Smith to the net, Potvin down. Penalty coming up. Peterson got his stick on it. And here comes the call. Don Van Massenhoven has a hooking call made that will put the Canucks a man down.
A scrum one on the sideboards by Phoenix, and the Canucks don't get it out of the zone. Strudwick doesn't get it out, and that causes all kinds of problems because now he's chasing back to the net. And it's going to be Matt Cook in the slot that ends up with the hooking call, but it could have easily been right there, but Jason Strudwick was in on it as well. If you have the puck right at the blue line, it has to go over the blue line, and that was a fine example of what happens if you don't get it out in your own zone.
Cook might have saved a goal as Wyatt Smith was driving to the net. Good Western name. You know you got a Western matchup when Wyatt is on the ice. Travis Green now will come out to center the Phoenix power play. Here's Roenick at the point. That changed direction. Puck off the side of the net as Green tried to bank it in off Potvin. Tkachuk. Back out Roenick. That highly touted power play gets its first shot. They were held without a shot in the opening period on their one power play opportunity.
Oh, we've got Roenick now on the point on their power play. So the Phoenix Coyotes will start with him in the point, and then Shane Doan will probably go back there. We'll see what happens, but again, the importance of the point shot and the power plays now in the National Hockey League and just getting pucks through. And why is that? Well, teams chase so much, killing penalties. You just don't have time to set up for that low play very often.
Travis Green wins another face-off. Last night he was 16 of 22 and has been one of the top men in the circle this season. Ranks third in face-offs won so far this year. Stefan Yell of Colorado leads in that department. Now Shane Doan has it on right wing. Doan's moved up, plays back to Roenick and Newman. JR shot, knocked down by Jovanovski. Tkachuk dish to Newman, and Keith Tkachuk didn't take the backhand. They'll play it back out and around for Green. Here's Doan now, scores! Tkachuk on the tip, and it's 1-0 Phoenix on their 10th power play goal of the year.
One thing I have noticed this past week in watching the Vancouver Canucks, their offside winger has not been getting out to the point in this area. Let's see what happens. The Canucks are wide open. They collapse too low. There's the collapse, and watch the end result. Castles can't get out to the point in time, and then guess who is right in front? Tkachuk, who has made a career out of tipping pucks on the power play, and that is his 4th power play goal of this young season for Tkachuk.
Keith Tkachuk with his 4th power play goal of the year. Shane Doan, Travis Green get the assists. And it's 1-0 Phoenix. Canucks counter with the Sedens and Klatt after that goal. It's interesting when Toronto pulled to within 1 late in the 3rd period the other night. Trent Klatt told the Sedens this next shift's a big one. They went out and got the insurance goal in the victory over Toronto, and they get a good scoring chance there. Now Louis DeBrusk in deep into the Vancouver zone with Sullivan and Letowski. They lose possession. Helmer up the boards. Klatt can't get it out. And now it comes out to Daniel Sedin at center. Trying to play it in deep. Couldn't get it by Lume. Mike Sullivan starts back. LaChance up on him, and it's rolled past LaChance deep in Vancouver territory. Keith Tkachuk with his 4th of the year, and he has been in the lineup for every win for Phoenix. He missed the only Phoenix defeat when they were beaten in San Jose 2-1.
And Keith Tkachuk has always been such a big part of this Coyote hockey team. Last year was a difficult season for him. First of all, he was traded, then he wasn't traded, and then he ran into injury problems with his ankle and his shoulder. And again, look at all the time the point shot has here, as Castles can't get out in time. And any time you give that much time for the point shooter on the power play with traffic in front, you're looking for trouble.
Tough to budge a guy that's 6'2", 225 when he arcs himself at the top of the goal crease. Wyatt Smith firing it in. Brad May charged in and was upended by Strudwick. That's Landon Wilson off the boards, fanned on the shot. And Brendan Morrison up for Correa. Steve Correa to the line, drops it off for Schaefer, but it's offside.
No, Chris, we got a penalty here, and it's going to be goaltender interference. It was offside as well, pardon me, but we also had the hand up, and it's goalie interference. And May runs into the goalie, Felix Potvin. And let's see if we can pick up what happens. Potvin in perfect position, square to the puck. And May saying, what was that for? I'll figure it out. Without question, excellent call by the official. Wasn't even close.
So first Phoenix with a power play goal, and now the Canucks with an opportunity to answer back. Bobby Francis has enjoyed great success in the month of October in his tenure as coach, 13-3-3. Coyotes have been a hot starting team the last 3 years. Of course, the Canucks have played very well in the month of October in recent years. Here's Castles throwing it in front, broken up by Sullivan. Castles got it back. Jovanovski and a coin at the point. That shot tipped. Good sprawling play by Jovanovski to keep it in deep. In behind the net, Bertuzzi spinning off in front of the net. Castles failed to capitalize. Jovanovski's shot hit Letowski. Good pressure here by Vancouver again. Castles, Naslund, Bertuzzi in deep. Bertuzzi side of the net, spinning back. Newman watching him. Now Naslund to Castles. 8 assists in the early going. Whoops! Lost his footing. Newman now a 3-on-1 with Sullivan. Here's Newman in front, and Potvin made the stop, and the Canucks turn it up ice quickly. Klatt can't catch up to it, and Vancouver will have to regroup. And now play called on an offside. 5:40 into the second period.
I'm going to show you an example of when you are on the points, how that can work to your advantage. A little bit tighter. Remember, that didn't happen the first time. Letowski's up high, and then right here. And on this time, we're going to watch Phoenix Coyotes 1-2 right up on Castles, and that creates a 3-on-1 now 2-on-1 break shorthanded for the Phoenix Coyotes, and Felix Potvin with a dandy save on Sullivan right tight to his crease. With all the point shots going on in the National Hockey League, when you're killing penalties, you have to be pretty tight to the points. And in this last penalty kill for Phoenix, they have been very tight on the Vancouver Canuck point net.
Here's Daniel Seden neatly playing that puck off his skate. 35 seconds remaining in the power play. Klatt knocked down from behind. Another penalty coming up. Vancouver's going to get a two-man advantage for 28 seconds.
Another hooking penalty, I believe, right in the slot. Nope.
Like a hitting from behind call.
Boarded will be the call.
Suchi.
On Trent Klatt. Good call. Klatt goes right into the boards. And this becomes a tough call. And there's been a lot of talk around the National Hockey League. Let's be honest here. Nobody wants to see any hitting from behind, but the National Hockey League players are really smart now. They turn their backs to hits, and then at times just go into the boards a little easier than they might as soon as they feel a check from behind. I don't know what to do about it. I've asked people and nobody has the answer, because certainly nobody wants to promote checking from behind, but the players have really put the league in a tough position in this one.
They talked to the old-timers and they said they'd never leave themselves exposed to those kind of hits. But we do see them frequently now. Here come the Canucks. 20 seconds left in this 5-on-3. Castles and a pointer at the point. There's Naslund. Takes a look. Castles, Naslund, shot, rebound, swept wide. Correa behind the net. Bertuzzi parked in front. Castles. First penalty over. Bertuzzi scores! As they return, Tom Bertuzzi ties the game.
When you have a 5-on-3, one of the keys is to move the puck quickly. Now, Correa is a terrific puck mover with good hands. He's low, and he finds Bertuzzi right in the seam of the net, the slot rather, and it's on the stick, off the stick. And when you're a goalie, you can't help but open up your legs when you move from one side to the other, and actually that would beat John Burke on the glove side. But good quick movement. Bertuzzi found the seam in the slot, and the key to this goal for Bertuzzi, didn't waste time getting it off the stick. As soon as the puck hit his stick, boom, it was right in the corner. And a lovely feed from Correa.
Todd Bertuzzi's second of the year. Both have been power play goals. Brad May had returned to the ice, so it was scored with a one-man advantage, and that ends the power play for the Canucks. But they get back on even terms. At 6:36, Steve Correa and Adrian Aucoin assist on the play, and Aucoin now has 7 points in the early going. Here's Dennis Peterson, rebound, tuck, rifled it wide. And as the Canucks crash the net, after the shot, Tkachuk firing it down the ice. As that goal by Vancouver has energized the Canucks here midway in the second period. Burke out of the net. Now it's Smith out to center ice. LaChance played it off the boards. Wyatt Smith is dumped. Play continues, and Bobby Francis enraged at the Coyote bench because there was no penalty call. You're watching Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada brought to you by Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Well, Tkachuk went off the ice a little bit sore as he was tangled up with Donald Brashear right in front of the bench. He tried to hip check him and run some interference, and his left leg got tangled up a little bit. He seems to be okay. And then right after that, a bad change, and Bobby Francis was all upset, and we didn't know why, Chris. Well, the reason is his team was caught for too many men on the ice, so the Canucks now with another power play opportunity.
That came very shortly after he thought a penalty should have been called on the Canucks. Wyatt Smith was hauled down, but Vancouver gets the power play. They're 1 for 4 tonight. And back come the Sedins with Klatt. A coin one-timer knocked down in front. Klatt trying the tip. Helmer will play the other point to start this 5th Vancouver power play of the night. Henrik Sedin out high, kept in, a coin shot, loose puck, played into the corner. Klatt on it there. And now we've got another penalty.
I thought Letowski was going to get a slash, and it's not going to happen. It's going to be, I believe, a Vancouver Canuck penalty for holding the stick. And the players are quite confused. It's going to be Trent Klatt in the penalty box for holding the stick. And then right after that, a pretty good slash by Letowski that went unnoticed.
So that does it for the power play. 40 seconds in. Klatt goes off.
Let's see if we can pick up Trent Klatt to the left of your screen with Letowski.
I think they got the wrong man, Helmer.
And there, yeah, they got the wrong guy. It's Helmer here that was holding the stick. And that's why Klatt was so confused, saying, what did I do? Going to the penalty box.
So we'll play 4-on-4. Maria upended. He's out with Bertuzzi. Against Shane Doan and Travis Green. A chance to the line with Correa. Dodges Lume, but Lume's got the puck. Ed Manning for Green. Travis Green to the Canuck line, rolling it through. Hotman stops it up for Bertuzzi, who has the Vancouver goal, his 2nd of the year, and both have been power play markers. Bertuzzi upended by Lume, and Lume's on the puck with Shane Doan. 2-on-1. Doan shoots and scores! Well, Shane Doan said he'd been getting chances. They hadn't been going in. It does here, and Phoenix leads 2-1.
Well, Lume breaks up the play right in the neutral zone, and that's what starts it off. Here come the Canucks coming up, and we're going to see Lume here. Boom, there's the hit, and then he jumps right back into the play, and it creates a 2-on-1. Now, what I love about this goal is how about Doan's patience. He waits until Felix Potvin is down. Here's the 2-on-1. Potvin's over in time, but he's anticipating a shot right away. It doesn't happen. Doan waits that extra second to make sure Potvin is down, then he throws it right up over top of his glove.
So Shane Doan has his 2nd of the year. Mentioned in his 5th year. He had his breakthrough season last year with 26 goals. And the Coyotes have certainly high hopes for Shane Doan. He scores his 2nd from Lume, and Travis Green has his 2nd assist of the night. As the Coyotes restore a 1-goal advantage. 8:53, the time of the goal. Lume now with 8 points. Coming into tonight's action, the top defensive scorers in the league were Patrice Brisebois and Adam Foote with 8 points apiece. There's Juno on the ice with Tkachuk. And now it's a power play for Phoenix. As Cook is rattled by Vananen. Tkachuk over the line, so the leg problem not serious. He's out with Roenick. Juno, Lume, and the rookie Vananen, who scored a goal against Minnesota in his first NHL game. Roenick took a whack at it, comes back to Vananen, his shot knocked down. Barron's blocked another. Lead pass for Cook went down the ice. Sergei Lume, Juno, pass knocked down by LaChance. Coyotes in another change as Roenick goes to the bench. Here's May on it. Back at full strength. Sedin's and Klatt are on the ice. Daniel Sedin away with it. Pass up ahead for Klatt, trying to barge through. There's Suchi sweeping it around. Brad May on the near side. Bank pass off the boards and out. May. Smith, a native of Steep River Falls, Minnesota. Centering pass, and Henrik Seden was there. Now Daniels starts back for Vancouver. To the line, broken up by Tkachuk, who seemed to be shaken up on the play. He goes to the bench. Some room for Korea on this right wing. He drops for Morrison. Here's the shot, through traffic right on, and Burke made an alert save. 2-1 Phoenix with 8.5 minutes to go, and now an icing call on the Coyotes, who have restored their 1-goal lead on Shane Doan's second of the year. John Burke looking sharp again tonight. 31 stops in his last outing, and after the game he said, "I had a lot of jump in my legs," which you don't usually associate with goaltending. Although, Greg, you keep telling me that's important.
Like any other position, you want to feel like you're strong and have power from your legs, because so much of goaltending comes from leg strength.
He looks like he is rejuvenating his career, which seemed to hit a low when he got to Vancouver. We've got a penalty coming up to Vancouver. Don Van Massenhoven making a tripping call. And Steve Correa headed off.
See if we can pick up this little trip by Correa. Just a little tug on Juneau and enough to get the penalty. You know, this morning, Sean Burke and his partner, Robert Esch, were in the hallway, and actually before the game, and they were working with a tennis ball. And this is just a little hand-eye to get warmed up for the game, and both goalies out there. These two get along very well. I had a talk with Robert Esch this morning because he's really enjoying working with Sean Burke. He's learning so much about how to conduct yourself as a veteran in the National Hockey League, and the boys were just playing a little catch, trying to get the hand-eye coordination going before the game, and probably killing a little time too. It gets boring before a game, waiting just for the puck to drop.
So I thought the bullpen was at Yankee Stadium, but Robert Esch, you might have heard, was involved in that controversial side of the net goal last weekend in Los Angeles. Talk about that a little bit later. Fortunately, the goal did not cost the Phoenix Coyotes the game. They were able to prevail 6-5 despite an awful call that allowed the Kings to score one through the side of the net. Here comes Jovanovski shorthanded. Ed Jovanovski's shot bouncing in front. It hit Travis Green in the back and nearly created a chance shorthanded. Dennis Peterson goes to the bench, and Matt Cook and Markus Naslund are now up front penalty killing against the Coyotes, who twice this year have scored 3 power play goals in the game. That didn't happen at all last season. Roenick just got out of the way of Cook, who got a piece of him, and Roenick has to wind up. The Canuck penalty killers collided, giving Roenick some room to the line, drops it off. Lume steps into it, blocked by Helmer, and Peter Schaefer rolls it down.
Let's see how the Canucks do covering the points on this penalty kill if Phoenix does get set up in the Vancouver zone.
Keith Carney and Letowski lose it. Brashear stepped up, left it for Schaefer. Here's Schaefer right on, with Brashear standing in front. Big hit there. Schaefer taking out Letowski. Now up to Alatalo. Mika Alatalo to the line. It's offside with 14 seconds left in the Korea Minor. Well, this was the scene last Sunday. Shades of John LeClair against the Buffalo Sabres. Off the side of the net through a hole. Bobby Francis couldn't believe it. And even after video replay, they allowed the goal to stand. And clearly you can see this was a major embarrassment for the league when the replay indicated that Glenn Murray had missed by, well, even a foot. And what was worse, when Esch protested, the official said, "Come on, hit the middle of the net."
Well, it did. Went through it first, though.
Hard to believe that could happen after what did happen last year in the Philadelphia Buffalo series. Korea back on the ice. Canucks killed the penalty. Now they'll try and draw even with the Coyotes, who have a 2-1 lead here in the second period. And Wilson centered it, whipped wide by Wyatt Smith. There's Smith behind the net. The rookie bounced off a hit, stays on the puck. A shot. Brad May with a shot stopped on the short side by Potvin. Ducks get it out to center. Netscash has Korea in knots. Now Strudwick tried a headman pass, broken up by Wilson, breaking in and fires it right on. Potvin got a piece of that. Latowski steps up. Here's Trevor Latowski trying to shake some folks checking. Latowski along the board trying to kick it loose. Now Sullivan back in. DeBrusk centers it. Daniel Seden takes a whack at it. Lume gloves it into the corner. And now Strudwick will take control. Under 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Tkachuk and Doan have scored for the Coyotes. Bertuzzi has replied for Vancouver. Here's Roenick. Little twist and turn at the line. Bounced in past Potvin. Strudwick off the boards. Kept in by Lume. Turns, spins. That hit Castles. And away comes Korea. Steve Korea can't thread the needle through as Vananen blocked. That pass by Korea. Now Roenick's pass off the Canuck. Tkachuk's away with it now. Here's Tkachuk. Rolling it through. Alatalo hands off to Roenick. And Naslund stole it back for Vancouver. Big Jovanovski cruising in. Scott a man open. Castles in. And Burke got a piece of that. Big chance for the Canucks to tie it. And Andrew Castles robbed by Burke. Now Alatalo trying to sprint away. Out of gas and cut off by Jovanovski. Up ahead Bertuzzi and Naslund to the line. Bertuzzi can't get it by Newman. Jovanovski caught. Here comes Brad May one-on-one. And he lost his footing and couldn't get loose. Now Naslund back. He stopped and turned with the puck. Doan, Cook, nailing Doan. Here's a quick shot off the glove of Potvin. That was taken by Travis Green. They start to open up. Helmer nearly lost it to Doan. Now Doan stepped into Brashear but bounces off the big Canuck winger who has the puck. Donald Brashear is in for Peterson. He's tied up by Green. Peterson trying to center it. Brashear was loose. Now Cook shoveled it past Brashear, and it comes out to center. LaChance gets back quickly on Doan with under 3 to go in the second period. Helmer up for Dennis Peterson, the Prince Albert native, rolling it wide of the net. Brashear on the far side, unable to come up with it. And Jovanovski back to retrieve it. Here's Ed Jovanovski weaving through center. Couldn't get by Sullivan. Sullivan upended by Jovanovski. Now Korea hits Morrison to the line. Brendan Morrison nearly sprung Schaefer. Korea's on it. Dancing in. Here's Schaefer off a skate to the side of the net. Now Korea's on it again. Peter Schaefer. He's nailed there by Netscash. Taken down by Netscash. Morrison has it. Korea. Now Schaefer without the helmet. Lost it. Oh, he picked the pocket neatly of Wyatt Smith. Finally played out by Phoenix. Jovanovski back into Schaefer. Korea to the net. There's Jovanovski, weak shot. Steered away by Burke. Canucks seem to be picking up the pace here in the dying moments of the second period as they press for the equalizer. Here's Klatt, loose with Henrik Sedin in front. Loose puck. Oh, a big stop by Burke as he robbed Trent Klatt. And now a penalty as Netscash put the grab on Klatt.
A tough shift for Stan Netscash. First of all, he jumps up on the side boards there, and that creates a 2-on-1 for the Vancouver Canucks. And Sean Burke saves the day. First of all, Hendrick in front, Sedin, and then right afterwards, Trent Klatt. And what Sean Burke does so well, he keeps his eye on the puck. He focuses on it all the way in, and then right afterwards, here is the penalty on Nets Cash to the right of Sean Burke. So, with 1:25 to go, another power play opportunity for Vancouver.
The Sedens are out. Klatt, the normal line mate, is at the bench as Naslund, Castles, and Aucoin join the Sedens on the power play.
One thing I liked about the Vancouver power play tonight is they've been able to grab loose pucks and win the battles. Let's see if they do it here.
And the Sedens have been a large part of that tonight. But in this case, Newmanen got possession and sends it down the ice.
One of the few times that has happened in this game. The Sedens have been very good on the boards, winning battles.
And he'll be killing Sullivan and Latowski, who lost his stick. And that allows Daniel Seden to jump into the zone. He's nailed. Here's Naslund, circles, hangs on, back out, kept in by Castles. He flips it to the net, knocked down by the Coyotes, and Kearney clears it the length of the ice. We're in the final minute of the second period. Canucks on the power play, trying to tie it. Morrison, Castles was loose, but didn't come across. Now in behind, battle for the puck, they come up with it, and Daniel Seden robbed by Burke, who didn't even see it.
Well, that's the key. You know, when things are going well as a goaltender, you get breaks like this one. Sean Burke definitely got a break as Daniel Seden was flying around behind the net. Sean Burke loses sight of where the puck is completely. There he peeks the wrong way, peeking one way, the other way, and peeks the wrong way when Daniel Seden comes out from behind the net. Keep an eye on Sean Burke's head if I'll go out of the screen here, but he just knocks the puck out of the air, waits for it, and right away just throws it towards Sean Burke, who's still looking at the other side of the net. And when you're hot, those are the kind of breaks you get as a goaltender.
You talk to anybody in the Vancouver camp about the Sedens, and they say, you know, they don't overwhelm you with the skating ability, but they are so good on the puck and with the puck, and we've seen it again tonight. 20 seconds left in the period. Jovanovski retreats. Travis Green giving chase. He's out with Doan. Try and preserve this 2-1 lead for 40 minutes. The Canucks are offside at the line with 9.3 seconds remaining in period 2.
The special teams have been the key in this game, and the goaltending of Sean Burke, period. It's not that the Vancouver Canucks have played a poor game at all. It's just that Phoenix Coyotes and Sean Burke have done the job defensively and offensively with a shorthanded goal and a power play goal, or a 4-on-4 goal, pardon me, and a power play goal in this game.
We're seeing why Bob Francis said that right now he thinks Sean Burke's the best goaltender in the NHL, and it's very early, of course, but hard to argue with him based on what we have seen tonight.
It's amazing. One day before the season, he didn't have a contract or a job with any team. In fact, he told me this morning he thought he was going to be sitting out for quite some time waiting for employment until he got the call from Bobby Smith the day before camp started.
He has made 21 saves so far tonight. And through 40 minutes here in Vancouver, the Coyotes have a 1-goal lead. Vancouver has outshot Phoenix 22-17.
The third period, obviously, special teams will be very important for Vancouver. They have to get a power play goal here at some point. You know they'll have more opportunities.
Doan has put Phoenix ahead after 40 minutes.
Back at GM Place, 2-1 Coyotes after 2. Keith Tkachuk started the scoring for Phoenix. Not bad for a team that has so much swirling around it. How are you feeling about how it's gone so far?
Well, it's tough. You know, it's easy for us to make excuses, but, you know, we can only control how we do on the ice and let everything else take care of itself. And fortunately, right now, it's working for us.
How about one of the moves that you have to like, and that's Shane Doan back there on the power play? You get in front of that shot and tip it in. Has that worked out well, that little tinkering that Bobby's done?
Absolutely. I mean, Shane has a big shot back there, and we want to try to open things up. If we get him the puck and have him rip it a little few times, then maybe the blow plays will be open. But adding Juno and obviously with JR can move the puck really well. I think it's been opening up, and we're getting our chances.
Keith, good luck keeping it together.
Thank you very much.
There's Keith Tkachuk, captain of the Phoenix Coyotes. Coming up next, it's Scoreboard Saturday here at GM Place in Vancouver. It's 2-1 Phoenix after 2 periods.
Scoreboard Saturday. Brought to you by AutoPro, where service is always first.
Tonight on Scoreboard Saturday, hat-tricks abound. 3 goals for Andreas Dackl of Ottawa, Donald Audette of Atlanta, and for the Montreal Canadiens, the sniper was Brian Savage. Sammy Taft, the famous hat salesman in Toronto, made the word hat-trick famous for 3 goals, and we'll celebrate those with recaps from 5 games and the story of 10 others on Scoreboard Saturday. Welcome back to Scoreboard Saturday. Curtis Joseph nearly perfect at Edmonton, where he won 4-1, and again this evening 32 saves against the Calgary Flames. He runs his record to an amazing 19-5-3 in his history against the Calgary Flames. Toronto wins it by a score of 2-1 on Joseph's heroics. Thomas got his first, Ty Domi his first, and Jerome McGinley scores for the Calgary Flames, his 4th goal on the season. In Ottawa, pick it up after Rob Zamner had made it 1-0. The Sens on a roll, coming into the game undefeated. And here's Andreas Dackl from Yashin and McEachran. Dackel's 3rd on the year, 1st of 3 on the night at 10:33 of the opening period. It's 2-0. Marian Hossa and Ray Ferrero exchanged goals, and then here's Dackl from McEachran and Redden. Make it 4-1 the Senators. Then they extend it to 5-1 as Dackl completes the hat-trick from Yashin and McEachran. Looks like Jacques Martin's gang's home and cooled, but Donald Audette starts his tear as he scores here from David Harlock, 4th on the year for Audette, and it's 5-2. Then Nat Domicelli scored, and now Magnus Arvidsson had scored, and before that, it's Donald Audette again as he scores here to make it 6-4 at that stage. Sean Donovan cut it to 5, and then Audette completes the hat-trick as he scores here with about 5 minutes to play in the 3rd period. A nice little celebration for Audette. That's his first hat-trick in 5 years, the 3rd of his NHL career. 77 shots in this game, 12 goals. Fournier and Rhodes had a tough night. 6-6 is how it ends at Ottawa. Guy Lafleur just back from Colorado, where he helped Patrick Roy celebrate. He's on hand to see the Carolina-Montreal game. Martin Jelena and Martin Ruchinski, the 2 goal scorers. This is Ruchinski from Savage and Linden, so it's 1-1 at the end of a period. In the 2nd, Brian Savage will score this strange goal as Trevor Linden centers it, and it somehow caroms off Brian and in. Ruchinski, the other helper, at 1:15. It's 2-1 Canadians. It was 2-2 when Trevor Linden scores here on Artur Zerbe from Brian Savage. That goal came at 19:48 of the 2nd. And to the 3rd we go. Brian Savage. This is a legitimate goal. Whew. He just launches one from Linden and Ruchinski, his 2nd of the game, 4th on the year. At that stage, 4-2 Montreal, and then Brian gets the hat-trick, courtesy of the empty net goal. Ruchinski sent him in alone. All told, 14 points for the line of Ruchinski, Savage, and Linden. Savage gets his 6th career hat-trick. The Habs are undefeated at home, 4-0, and unbeaten in their last 4 period. 5-2 the final there. What do you think of the mustache for Teemu Selanne? There he is with Paul Kariya. The happiest news of all for Selanne is that Steve Ruchin's back. Let's go to the highlights. Justin Williams of Philly gets his 2nd goal. The rookie scores from Gagne and Delmore. 1-0 Flyers. Then it's Paul Ranheim beating Guy Hebert with a little help from the goalie. Manderville and Olczyk also had assists. 2-0 Flyers. It was 2-1 when Dan McGillis scores to make it 3-1 from Gagne and Tocchet, and it looks like it's Philly's night. But not so. First, Tony Herkus will score here as the puck finds its way to Herkus, and this nifty little effort will square the affair at 3-3. Marshall and Bilesma draw assists on that one, and now in overtime, Teemu Selanne on the power play. Not overtime, I should say 2:38 remaining. But a power play goal for Selanne as he beats Roman Chuchmanek, and wouldn't you know it, the Ducks come back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Philadelphia Flyers by a score of 4-3. Philly is now winless in 7. Let's go, says Scotty. I know I don't have Chelios, I know I don't have Yzerman, but we're a good team, we can do this. And for a time it appeared that they would. Martin Lapointe here from Shanahan and Gilchrist, and it's 2-1 for the Red Wings. Buffalo fights back after a goal by Stu Barnes. Here's Doug Gilmour getting his 1st on the year as he drives to the net from Finneganoff and Grattan, and Sabres lead 3-2. But then it's Detroit. Pat Verbeek scoring a pair. That goal puts Detroit ahead by a score of 4-3 from Ward and Holmstrom. But Buffalo rallies. Curtis Brown gets the tying goal here to make it 4-4, and we're bound for overtime. And here's where Sergei Fedorov collides with Jay McKee, knee on knee. JP Dumont also catches the skate of Fedorov. Fedorov joins Chelios and Yzerman on the sidelines with a knee injury. That happened in the overtime, and no word on the extent of the injury, but didn't look good. In any event, the Red Wings benefit from the penalty to Jay McKee and score the power play goal. Brendan Shanahan, 3 for 5 were the Red Wings on the power play, and Lindy Ruff says that was a brutal call. 5-3, Detroit hands Buffalo another setback. Hasek's really struggling. He made just 22 saves. Manny Legacy made 29 for the Red Wings as they win it by 1. Washington is now undefeated in 16 straight games against the New York Islanders. They play to a 4-4 tie tonight. Ulf Dahlin got the tying goal. Tampa gets blown out in New Jersey. 7 goals in the first 2 periods by 7 different marksmen for the Devils. McKay gets his third. Nemchinov gets his third. Rafalski has a pair. Breland has 3 on the year. Sikora gets his second. 7-2. 5-2 for the Pittsburgh Penguins as they beat the Blue Jackets. Robert Long leads the way with a 2-goal performance. Jaromir Jagr had just the 1 point in that game. St. Louis, the only goal goes to Scott Young. Roman Turek gets the shutout as the Blackhawks' woes continue. The Blues win it 1-0. Dallas and Los Angeles. The Stars come back to win it by a score of 4-3. Brett Hull gets his 5th and 6th goals of the year. The 6th was the game winner. Modano had tied it with his 3rd, so the Stars rally to beat the LA Kings by a score of 4-3. And in this game, Mark Smith of Eyebrow, Saskatchewan, and Sean Hines of Eganville, Ontario, who set a slapshot record in the East Coast Hockey League, get their first NHL goals, make it a final of San Jose 5, Nashville 3. The story from the West when we come back after this.
Scoreboard Saturday. Brought to you by AutoPro, where service is always first.
The Harbour Centre Tower in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. A great day here in Vancouver. 2-1 Phoenix over the Canucks after 2 periods of play. Go-ahead goal by Shane Doan, his 2nd for the Phoenix Coyotes. Alexander McGillney, a couple more assists tonight for the New Jersey Devils. He now has 10 points in the season, but coming this way in that late season trade, Peterson and Morrison. How do you like it?
What a great trade. I love these guys. This is a great example of hard work right here. There's Morrison going to take the draw. Watch, he's going to get tripped by Travis Green right here. No worries, Scott. He's back up on his feet. Now he's going to chase Carney behind the net. Look at the effort right here. Now that's a valuable player. I bet the guys on the bench are cheering for him right here. Now look at this. He seems a little bit out of the play, but he's going to come right back into that area and intercept this pass through the middle. Now there's no play, so he's just going to chip it out off the glass. Really, I'm sure he went back to the bench and the guys were all over him there going, you know what, that really is a great play. He didn't get a point, but it's still valuable.
No worries.
No worries.
No
I wanted
worries.
to bug you.
Yeah, and no worries for Sean Burke, who didn't have a job as the season began. 2-1 for the Coyotes over the Canucks. We'll be back in a moment.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada brought to you by Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Ready for the 3rd period here in Vancouver. All the scoring in the 2nd. Tkachuk and Bertuzzi on the power play. Doan the go-ahead goal. And Vancouver starts the 3rd period on the power play. There's a half-minute remaining in the minor penalty to Stanet's catch. As Naslund brings it in, swings it to the right side. Andrew Castles, his shot off Numanen. Into the seats as we rejoin Scott Russell.
Here's Jack McElhargy of the Vancouver Canucks. You're up against a hot goaltender, but are you pleased with the effort of your team?
Oh, definitely. We wanted to work the puck down low and cycle the puck and get pucks to the net. We've done a good job, I thought, in the 2nd period.
Will you exploit your speed at every opportunity? It looks like the Canucks really move the puck.
We have to. We have all 4 lines can have good speed. We want our defense to move the puck up quick and get our forwards jumping.
Thanks, Jack. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Canucks closing out a 5-game homestand here tonight. They're 3-1. Down by 1 so far tonight. Play broken up. And Carney coolly deposits the puck back in Vancouver territory. Heads to the bench. Hot man notifying his teammates the penalty has expired. Naslund in. What a pass! And a shot on Burke, who handles it after that nifty behind-the-back pass. Numminen, Tkachuk, he swings around and puts it back to Roenick. Here's Roenick on the backhand in front. Tkachuk got a piece of that. Potvin got more of it.
Well, the Phoenix Coyotes, we haven't seen Joe Juneau at all in this hockey game. Now he's not even on the bench, so we'll try and get a report on what is wrong with him. And that's really shortened the forward position up for the Phoenix Coyotes, and another good chance to score on Felix Potvin. And before that, the Vancouver Canucks start the period on the rush on a 3-on-2, and they just throw it behind their back. And again, Sean Burke in perfect position to make the save. He's a big man to begin with, and a lovely behind the back pass to Castles from Naslund, but Castles doesn't get all of it. As you can see, that puck just fluttering into the chest of Sean Burke.
You're right, Juneau just 6 minutes and 46 seconds tonight. I think one, maybe 2 shifts in that second period for Juneau. That shot knocked down. Roenick rebound. That one hit the ankle of Tkachuk on the way, and the Canucks get it out.
The Canucks are going to see an awful lot of Roenick and Tkachuk in this third period.
Tkachuk opened the scoring. His pass for Roenick broken up by Daniel Seden. Here's Lume. Up ahead to Tkachuk. He gets it in deep. Coyotes in the midst of a wholesale change. Jovanovski. Nice move by one. In he goes. And offside with an extra move at the line. And Jovanovski with 17 minutes and 19 seconds to top all players tonight.
And we knew that he would see a lot more ice with the injuries on the blue line to Matthias Olin, and certainly he's responded well. I like the way he's jumped up in this game. In the second period late, he made a terrific play on a backhand pass that set up a good Vancouver Canuck chance, but his reads have been strong defensively also.
Cook, Brashear, and Peterson check in for Vancouver. Jason Strudwick back in his own zone. Chased there by old teammate Brad May. Strudwick got it outside the line and lost it. And it's swung back in by Landon Wilson. Potvin on the net. Look out! Wilson! Oh, what a stop! Potvin gave it up and then got back just in the nick of time. Bad save off Wilson. Otherwise, it's 3-1 Phoenix. Now Matt Cook starts out. Long shoot in, gloved down by Burke. That's Cash to Wilson. Landon Wilson got to the line, flipped it in, he'll head off. Well, he didn't get over the line, and they're going to call that icing against Phoenix.
Well, when you're a goaltender, you call this desperation. As Felix Potvin throws one up the boards. And Strudwick is chasing after it here, and a bit of miscommunication between Potvin and Strudwick, and the end result is Landon Wilson with a wide open net. And as I mentioned, desperation, this is like, uh-oh, I gave it away, I better bail myself out. And Potvin does that with a wonderful pad save after a miscue by him and Strudwick to set that play up.
18 saved from Potvin tonight. Morrison, Schaefer, and Correa. And once again, Greg, this alignment you talked about, LaChance right up in the left wing position, just one man at the point, and the puck comes out to center ice. Here's Brian Helmer.
Helmer had to really hustle back to chase that puck down after the defensemen were up.
Correa nearly stole it in the Phoenix zone. LaChance retreating. Hands it off to Brendan Morrissey, the former New Jersey Devil. Sends it in deep, and this could be icing. Schaefer got there first, so play continues. Lassi Vannanen Trevor Letowski unable to clear it. Now Travis Green knocks it down, and we've got a penalty coming up against the Phoenix Coyotes.
Canada.
I mentioned at the end of the second period that I felt that the Vancouver Canuck power play would have to go in the third period to get back in this game. Well, Vananen hauls down Korea, and so a big power play now once again for the Vancouver Canucks, as special teams has been a real factor in this game. Both teams with a power play goal so far this evening.
Puck dropped unfairly between Sullivan and Castles, and Randy Minton will do it again. Andrew Castles with 6 power play points.
And watch Bertuzzi here, Chris. He's well to the outside, and he will sneak right down here from the draw if they win it and get right in front of the net for the Aucoin shot from the point. And that's why the Canucks are going 4 across on this setup. Nobody is here to block Bertuzzi going to the net.
A variety of alignments on the face-offs for the Canucks tonight. Coin poised behind Castles, a puck sliding into Burke. Jovanovski in deep, along with Naslund, and they retrieve possession of the puck for Vancouver. Now Naslund off the boards, the back pass Castles, cross ice at Coin. Now Jovanovski at the top. The captain Naslund, a Coin. That was a nice redirection onto the stick of Jovanovski from a Coin. Now Naslund wrist shot through off the glove of Burke, and it does come out. Jovanovski beyond Castles in deep. Castles unable to come up with it, and Kearney will clear it to center. Past the 4-minute mark of the third period. Bertuzzi barging back in. Todd Bertuzzi stopped by Burke. Boy, he has that ability to drive to the net in spectacular fashion.
And use his body to protect the puck like he did there.
First minute of the power play goal. Seden rolling it through. There's Trent Klatt on it. Upended by Jeremy Roenick. Henrik Seden knocks it onto the stick of Klatt. Daniel Seden back to Klatt. Couldn't get a shot away from the side. Daniel Seden nailed by Roenick. Kept in by Jovanovski right on. Rebound. Hendrick chipping it high. And Burke made another stop. Both Sedens have been robbed by Sean Burke, who has been outstanding tonight.
Well, Seden on this play knew he had Burke down and out, so he was just trying to chip it over him. And watch Sedens here, how they are both able to keep the puck alive. Now Jovanovski knocks it down, and right in front, Trent Klatt's causing all kinds of problems. And then Daniel Seden just tried to chip it up and over top. Or was that Hendrick? Pardon me, Hendrick. And amazing how they do that so well. And just before this, Bertuzzi goes to the net. Watch how he just protects the puck with his body and his right leg. And again, Sean Burke outweights him and makes a fine save. That was a fantastic rush by Todd Bertuzzi.
22 seconds remaining in the Vancouver power play. Korea now out with Schaefer. And Morrison, a Coin, couldn't knock it down. Now it's center, plays it to Helmer. Adrian Aucoin pushing it ahead. Can't get in deep, they'll try it again. Helmer looks rink wide, look out. Pass broken up. Wyatt Smith is in as he's stopped by Potvin on a clear-cut break. As the penalty came to an end, now Morrison races the other way. Brendan Morrison takes the shot. Burke the save. Rebound. Aucoin stopped by Burke. Another puck at the side of the net. Morrison tried to throw it in front. Schaefer to Morrison. Korea. Oh, what a stop by Burke on a nifty feed to Korea. Canucks doing everything but tie the game. Back behind the net for Schaefer. Korea tried to get loose. Schaefer right in front. Burke down. And finally covers Sean Burke with a highlight reel. Third period.
I don't know that I've ever seen Sean Burke most relaxed in quite some time. He's not moving all over the place. He's sound in the net and just showing so much patience in each save that he makes. Here he's down, but he's showing patience. And then before this, let's not forget Felix Potvin at the other end. A giveaway by Helmer sends the Phoenix Coyotes Smith one-on-one against Potvin, and Potvin outweights him and is in perfect position. And then at the other end again, Correa with a perfect chance to score in front of Sean Burke, and Burke was over on that pass and on the puck before it was even on Correa's stick. With terrific anticipation by Sean Burke.
Correa, the only Canuck forward without a goal. What a chance there to tie the game. Once again, we've got two of the hottest teams in the NHL in October, both riding 3-game win streaks. Phoenix 5-1, Vancouver 5-2. And right now the Coyotes have a 1-goal lead, but the Canucks have certainly threatened here in the third period. Brashear after it, causing a commotion deep in the Coyote zone. Tied up by Green. Cook. Brashear behind the net. There's Brashear throwing it across. Chip back in deep by to Cook. Rolling it to the side of the net. Burke doesn't like the way things are unfolding. And Sean Burke covers up.
Times we're starting to see the officials let the teams play a bit in third periods. Now that's not the way it was earlier in this young season. And Brashear here trips up Sushi on the play, and perhaps that might have been a penalty a couple of weeks ago, but it's interesting to see how this is going to develop in the league in terms of whether officials will let players decide games a little more in third periods, or will they continue to clamp down? I think they'll continue to clamp down, but we'll have to wait and see.
You saw Rick Bowness at the Phoenix bench. He was rather animated during the break along as he talked to the defenseman. 8 shots for the Canucks in the first 6:45 of this third period. And Vancouver pressing the attack again. Naslund took a whack at it. Letowski's out with Shane Doan. Here's Doan to the line. Letowski's moved up with Green and Doan on the second line, replacing Joey Juneau. Shane Doan has the go-ahead goal and a weak shot handled by Potvin. Phoenix changing. That gives Bertuzzi some open room with a long shot in on Burke. Now Roenick winding up. There's one move. Quickly Daniel Seden closed ice on him, and he gives it up, and the Sedins are back. Jovanovski bringing it in. Could have been offside. A jam play, and Burke down to make another stop. Now played ahead. Alatalo and Tkachuk start back. Here are the Canucks. Now Tkachuk lost his footing. Klatt along the boards. Stays with it. Moves it ahead. Jovanovski jumping up again. A long shot on Burke. Lume loses it. Trent Klatt's got it. Watched by Roenick, who cuts him off. 10 shots now for Vancouver. We haven't hit the halfway point of the period, and there's another off the side of the net or the post. As Burke covered on the short side. Swept in by May. Murray Barron gets there ahead of Landon Wilson. Some traffic in front of the Vancouver bench as it rolls the length of the ice. Newman and back to get it.
I really admire the puck pressure that the Vancouver Canucks are putting on right here. It's working well for them.
Here's Correa in front, and that went off Burke's stick as the pass came across for Schaefer. Now Morrison upends a man. Landon Wilson. Puck sent down the ice, and that is icing against the Coyotes. 9:04 into the third.
Jovanovski with a chance to score coming in from the blue line. Oops, that was out a little bit, and that was a chance to score, but let's not forget we got cameras all over the place here at GM Place, and it looks a lot easier from up here than it often does on the blue line.
Puck rolled down the ice by DeBrusk. Hot man out of the net. Around the boards it comes to Scott LaChance. Off the stick of Castles, but from the Vancouver side of center. An icing call. Well, the Canucks will move on to play Nashville. We got a gathering here at the Phoenix line. Canucks hit the road, Nashville Tuesday. The surprising Predators off to a terrific start. Tomorrow, Phoenix in Edmonton, then Tuesday in Calgary, as they are on the road for 6 of the next 7 counting tonight.
And what a schedule they have. You know, if you look at their schedule to the end of November, they've got just a ton of road games and just 6 home games. So they really are going to hit the road here for the next actually month and a half. And then they get into December. And what a schedule they have in December. 8 in a row at home. They've got a whole week during the Christmas holidays, which is uncharacteristic for teams in the National Hockey Leagues. And they have 11 games at home in the month of December. So that's a pretty favorable schedule, but they have to get through the next month and a half, and that's the focus of the team right now if you're a Phoenix Coyotes fan.
They have wins over St. Louis, Minnesota, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Florida. Their only loss, a 2-1 decision against San Jose. Here's Castle. Lost it as he hit the line. Jovanovski logging a lot of ice time, looking confident and poised. Hits Castles back in, whipping the shot wide. Barron steps up, plays it in behind the net. Castles pumped into Kearney. They went down. Bertuzzi's got it. One hands it to Naslund. Backhand through traffic. Burke had no idea as it bounced in behind the net. Jovanovski pulled it down and then got bumped for his trouble. And a hand pass is called. You're watching Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue. Rick Bowness, the lone assistant coach for Bob Francis, exhorting the Phoenix defense that's been on its heels a bit in this third period. And he wanted to wish his son Ricky a happy 20th birthday. Ricky, a student at Dalhousie. Another son, Ryan Bowness, a very impressive young rookie for the Brampton Battalion. Might be calling another bonus name in the NHL in the not too distant future. And happy birthday to Ricky. Watching tonight on the East Coast, here's Schaefer battling along the boards. Flipped out. A coin racing after it against May. Landon Wilson follows up. Now a loose puck cleared by LaChance. 9:20 remaining, third period. And all the goal scoring in the second. Phoenix with a 2-1 lead. Nice play by Morrison to get it back toward Vancouver. And a shot off Net's passes stick to the corner. May circles in front of the bench. His teammates make changes. Lost it now. Schaefer on the left side. That one looked like it would have missed the net. Burke got a piece of it anyway. Now Dennis Peterson. Back to Barron. Back in deep. Rodick lost it to Schaefer. Bailed out by Vananen. And now Rodick charges to the attack. Flipping it in deep. Tkachuk on the forecheck. Jovanovski unloads quickly with 7 bearing down on him. Comes out Vananen. Met by Peterson in front of the Vancouver bench. Barron there too. Can't find it in his skates. Cook lost it. Here's Rodick. Rodick with Alatalo and Tkachuk. And it's off the stick and out comes Vancouver. Peterson up to Brashear. Couldn't get it across. Cook lost his stick. Jovanovski kept it in. And now played up by Lume. Here's Klatt jumping on a loose puck. Henrik Seden pulls down the high puck. Daniel Seden from a bad angle. And the Sedens are still trying to solve Sean Burke.
This period for Vancouver has been all about puck pressure all over the ice, and the Phoenix Coyotes have not been able to set up at all in their own end for the breakout, and that's why Vancouver's had a good period.
Shots are 12-4. Make it 13 as Burke alertly steers aside the redirection.
That was an incredible save as that puck was tipped right in front of Sean Burke.
Now Doan back snaps the wicked shot high. Karam's all the way out to center. He looks so cool back there. 1988 Olympian. Looked like he'd have a brilliant NHL career. Here come the Canucks. Daniel Seden again. Hendricks got it. Puts it to the net. Bounced off Tkachuk. Hendrick gets it again. Too far for Daniel. He tries to knock it down, and now Tkachuk gets it out. Doan at center. And let's see, is that a premature substitution, I believe, as Naslund came off the bench, quickly playing the puck. And is it too many men on the ice? I don't think so. Let's see.
Well, the gate is open. And it's going to be too many men on the ice for the Vancouver Canucks. You called it, Chris.
Well, I thought the officials might make the other call, the premature substitution, but Naslund was the guy that came off the ice and immediately played the puck before the man he replaced had got off the ice. So Naslund argues the call, but he's going to lose the argument.
So a sudden turn of events here with 6:57 to go as the Vancouver Canucks have totally dominated this period. Sean Burke just made a save moments ago that was absolutely incredible. A tip right in front of the pad. Let's do the too many men first of all. As the puck goes to the bench, and their rule of thumb is don't touch the puck when you're changing right in front of your player's bench. And that's what happened, and the Canucks had too many men on the ice.
The man Naslund was replacing had not got his skates off the ice when Naslund played the puck. And so for the 5th time tonight, the Phoenix Coyotes are on the power play. They have a power play goal off the stick of Tkachuk, who has 4 power play goals this year. He only had 5 all of last season. Hronek's got 3, and there he is, coming up with the puck against Barron. Tkachuk. Back to Newman. Keith Carney's the other point man. And Bob Francis goes with 2 defensemen on the point, protecting a 1-goal lead in the 3rd period.
Exactly. It's a smart move. You don't want to give up a one-on-one chance now when you have a 1-goal lead with just over 5 minutes to go.
Is asking Doan if he got caught playing on the point. Here's a chance for Hronek first, and a nice blocker save by Potvin. Lume plays it in deep. Doan got it to Tkachuk. Here's a shot by Vannon, and doesn't get through. Hronek stopped by Potvin. Now back out again. Good pressure by Phoenix. Lume, Hronek, Lume, shot, knocked down in front. Jovanovski battling with Hronek, and now Schaefer gets it out, and Mark Crawford enraged as he thought there should have been a penalty as Jovanovski went down.
And Vancouver are doing a much better job covering the points in this 3rd period on their penalty kill. They must have adjusted between periods.
Asked Doan if he'd got caught with back on defense on the point on the power play. So far this year, in his first year as a point man, he said just once. He said he had Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg coming down on him.
That would do it. And I want to revisit this save by Sean Burke earlier in the period moments ago, because this puck deflected right in front of him there, and somehow he just gets enough of it on his arm. I thought it hit his pad, but it actually hit his arm and stayed out. And Sean Burke has been the big story in this 3rd period. Note the shots in this period so far.
We still have over 5 minutes to go. Sean Burke's career seemed to hit low ebb a couple of years ago, including the stop here in Vancouver, but he's back.
Yeah, you mentioned Shane Doan. You know, he was a defenseman all the way up in minor hockey, Chris, until he got to Kamloops and played junior hockey there. You're watching Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue. It's been a pretty intense 3rd period of play, and the sticks have been up a little bit more than I'm sure the league would like to see. And there is an example of it there. And yeah, that smarts, doesn't it, kid? Vannon got one right in the chops.
Nothing like the 40-stitch puck in the face he got in the preseason against Anaheim. He's taken some punishment. Steady Teppo Numminen on the ice with Tkachuk, Roenick, Alatalo, and Keith Carney, protecting a 1-goal lead with 4:24 to play. Murray Barron up ahead. Naslund couldn't reach it. Numminen ahead to Doan, who tripped up. Here's Roenick following in, and it's cleared away by Potvin. Doan gets it back. Takes a look, snaps the shot, and Potvin covers another dangerous shot from Shane Doan. From the face-off in the Vancouver zone, Letowski battling with Lachance in the corner. There's Klatt along the wall. Trying to push the pile with some help from Lachance. Doan stands his ground. Green trying to pluck it out of there. And look at Shane Doan use his body, trying to flip it in front. And now Vancouver gets it. Henrik Seden sidesteps Doan. Nice pass to Seden, but knocked back in by Lume. Here's Doan on it. Letowski to the net as that shot went wide. Green fires it across. Here's Letowski. In behind the net, big Shane Doan. And play stopped. A late change way behind the play. And is this too many men in Phoenix?
It's Phoenix's turn for too many men on the ice. I don't know if I've ever seen so many calls like this before. And perhaps it's just the 10-foot rule. The player jumped on too early and was cheating on the draw, or on the change.
In this case, it was well away from the play.
That was Randy Mitten, the linesman, that made the call, as did he against the Vancouver Canucks on the last one. Oh, and it's no penalty, it's just the old illegal substitution. Well, I saw the gate come open, I was wondering, but that's what it is. Somebody cheating on the change from the bench.
And it was the old 10-foot rule. Here's Jovanovski, centers, Morrison. Shot goes off the shin guards of Brad May. Now Korea. He's had dangerous moments. A shot to score! Brian Helmer in his first Vancouver game has tied it.
Well, the Vancouver Canucks deserve this because they have worked their tails off in this third period of play. Helmer, the IHL Player of the Week in the minors, comes up and scores after Korea makes a beautiful play to find him in front. But that was just a hard work goal. But how about this pass after Schaefer did a terrific job of stripping the puck as the Phoenix Coyotes were coming out of the zone, and good things happen when you go to the net. And Helmer comes to the point, goes to the net, and what a big moment for Brian Helmer as he's worked and scratched and clawed to get back in the National Hockey League again.
He scored 1 goal in his NHL career prior to tonight. That was with the St. Louis Blues last year in only 15 games with the Blues. You'll remember his first as a Canuck. It's tied the game at 17:02. Korea and Morrison assist. It comes on the 14th shot of the third period, the 36th shot of the game to beat Burke for the second time.
Here's a kid that never made major junior A hockey, played Tier 2A for 4 years, was found by Lou Lamoriello, signed in New Jersey, never got up, 5 years in the minors. Was up a few times, and here he is up tying the game for the Vancouver Canucks 8 years later.
But you know, 5 years with Albany and the New Jersey organization is a pretty good foundation. Now Lachance gets back to get the icing call. It's been a good hockey game, and now we have less than 2 minutes to go, and it's tied at 2.
And again, Helmer just comes from the point, and he jams the net. And when you're playing against a hot goalie, there's the giveaway, the great play at the top of your screen by Schaefer to start it all off. Korea's down low. Schaefer keeps the puck alive, and then here comes Schaefer to the net, and then here comes Helmer to the net as well, just crashing in. And as I mentioned, when you're playing against a hot goalie, sometimes the only way to beat him is just go to the net and hope something hits him on the way in, or hits the player.
Bob Francis animated at the Phoenix bench. Doesn't like where the faceoff is. Steve Correa has a pair of assists in this game. There's a shot kicked out by Burke. Correa sent to the ice. The fans react there as Green fires it in on Potvin. That puck hit a high stick played by the Canucks, so it's alive for Phoenix. Green had his backhand knocked down. Green's got it again. Green with a pair of assists for the Coyotes in this game. Correa got it out. Schaefer nearly got loose. Lume got back. Burke out of the net, and he'll pounce on the puck. In retreat, an anxious moment, and Morrison buried in front of the Coyote goal.
Buried by Doan after he was the man that gave the puck away to begin with. Here comes Doan here. Yep, and he just gives it away. And again, the Canucks in the neutral zone have done a fine job with their puck pressure. Schaefer being one of the speedster, and then afterwards Morrison gets a bit of a ride by Doan. Sean Burke guesses and then scrambles to get back just in the nick of time after he misses the first attempt to freeze the puck.
And the late stick over the back of the helmet of Morrison drew a reaction from the crowd. No doubt, Greg, that the speed of that Morrison-Schaefer-Correa line has given the Coyotes some fits.
The boards are open here. Sorry, as we're panning. And the draw was won by Phoenix anyway.
There's Naslund to the line, can't get over it. Roenick ahead, there's Tkachuk. Stopped by Jovanovski. Alatalo moving in, unable to come up with it. And Vancouver has possession with 1 minute remaining in the third period. Turns it over. Tkachuk to Alatalo. Jovanovski quickly on him. Got a piece of him. Bertuzzi helping out defensively. Came up with it and off the glass and out. Nearly a bad gaff in the Vancouver zone in the final minute. Jovanovski fires it down the ice on Burke. Klatt in quickly as they try to bottle up on it, and they turn it over. Here's Seden, and another shot on Burke. Well, the Sedins have tested Sean Burke in this third period. Now Kearney sprawling, gets it ahead. Letowski dumped, and Henrik Sedin is back, and again Bob Francis upset at the Phoenix bench. Lume off the glass and out of play. .5 seconds to go.
Francis is really on him, animated because he thought there perhaps should have been a penalty in the neutral zone for interference. But before this, Jovanovski with a very smart play. The Canucks want to get a change. Jovanovski wants to keep the play going, so he shoots it right at Sean Burke. And here comes the forecheck by Trent Klatt. And yes, the Sedins, who have been doing it all game long, and that ended up creating a chance to score. Jovanovski's had a terrific night. Just a marvelous night on the blue line. He's logged all kinds of ice time, and if he can play like this, it'll be a big bonus for the Canucks. They won't miss Olin quite as much.
Eddie Jovanovski has an overtime goal this year.
And now you see the Canucks do have a player on the boards. That's the right thing to do in this situation.
Both teams have won in overtime, and we're 8.5 seconds away from that. And look at Mike Sullivan. He barked at Randy Minton, and he just got tossed.
Yes, but a smart move by Francis. Travis Green is in the face-off circle. They go with two center icemen here with 8 seconds to go.
One by Morrison, shot by Jovanovski, knocked down, and out at center, a coin will wind it down, and we'll get set for overtime. Brian Helmer with his first goal of the year, the 17th different player to score for Vancouver, has forced overtime with a goal at 17:02 from Correa and Morrison.
Well, Brian Helmer, the hero for the Vancouver Canucks at the moment, as he ties the game up late in the third period. And it's amazing, good things happen when you go to the end. Helmer sneaks in from the point on a lovely feed from Korea. And that's what tied this game up, and that's why we're in overtime.
As I mentioned, Helmer, another Canuck goal scorer. Now 17 different guys set up by one of the few that hasn't scored. But Korea now has 5 assists on the year.
I want to show you how the Vancouver Canucks really changed this game in the third period. It all starts in the neutral zone. Vancouver's using a system now where they flood the zone, and the one winger will come all the way over. Here comes the third winger over. 1, 2, 3. Vancouver Canuck players on the puck, all on one side of the ice, and that created all kinds of problems for the Phoenix Coyotes in the neutral zone and in their own zone, as the Canucks really pressured the puck as well in the Phoenix zone. So the coaching staff really fired up their team in the third here, and Vancouver's responded well. Bobby Francis not very happy with his group in the third period. Don't forget, he's working with a shortened bench. One of his best players so far of this young season, Joe Juneau, is out of the game with an injury. So he's had to shorten the bench, and Roenick's seen a lot of ice time, as has Keith Tkachuk in this third period.
Juneau had the overtime goal for the Phoenix Coyotes, and both teams registered their overtime win over the hard-luck Florida Panthers, one of 2 winless teams. Here's a turnover. Roenick scores, and it only took 16 seconds to decide it. JR from Tkachuk, and the Coyotes win their 6th of the year.
Phoenix Coyotes have been finding ways to win. They don't deserve this one. Their goalie was great, and a miscue by the Vancouver Canucks in their own zone spoils a wonderful effort in this game. And a little breakout out of the zone, D to D, and stripped as the Vancouver Canucks, and then everybody's leaving the zone. I believe it was Barron that gives the puck away. He's looking down, and he just gets stripped by Tkachuk. Now it becomes a 2-on-1 down low, and you can't give the puck to Roenick in the slot when the game's on the line. Here's another good look at it. Let's not forget, Barron's a left-handed shot, so it's a tougher play for him. The puck is exposed to Tkachuk, and then Tkachuk finds Roenick wide open in front as all the Canucks were leaving the zone in the breakout. And the Phoenix Coyotes steal one here in Vancouver thanks to this gentleman right here, Sean Burke.
So Jeremy Roenick, his 5th of the year, and the Coyotes steal it in overtime.
Live on CBC. Hockey Night in Canada. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
It's a 3-2 game, overtime, Phoenix over Vancouver at GM Place in Vancouver. Here are our forward 3 stars in this one. First star, Sean Burke, the goalie of the Phoenix Coyotes, 37 saves. 2nd consecutive OT win for the Coyotes. They won 2-1 over Florida on Wednesday night. Sean Burke won that one. 2nd star, Ed Jovanovski of the Canucks. Steve Correa, the 3rd star, also of the Canucks. Phoenix wins it. We're back. Here's a dog you never leave alone because he's a lone wolf. 97 of the Phoenix Coyotes. Jeremy Roenick gets the puck from Keith Tkachuk, puts it away. His 5th goal of the season in overtime very quickly. 3-2 for the Coyotes over the Vancouver Canucks. But here's the guy that made it for the Phoenix Coyotes tonight. Sean Burke, 37 saves. A huge victory for the team. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, we knew this team was playing very well tonight. We had to come in here and work really hard. And I think in the third period, they got their legs going, and we were kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit. But you know, we've been battling all year, and we've been finding ways to win. I think that's a sign of a good team.
You've been battling all year. It's a long way from skating with your buddies in Sylvan Lake and then on into Phoenix on a flyer to get onto this team. Personally, how satisfying is this?
Well, so far it's been really nice. I mean, I enjoyed my time here last year. I really liked working with the goalie coach, Benoit Allaire, and I felt that my game was getting better, and I was hoping to get a chance to come back here, but it didn't look like that was going to happen. And when it did, you know, I was really excited. I had a good camp and was ready to get the season started.
Do you feel that your destiny is in your own hands right now? Can you make this happen for yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I've played a long time in this league, and I know you always got to go and prove yourself, but I think I've been a capable number 1 on a lot of teams, and I wasn't worried about the chance once I got it. It's just, I was just trying to get that chance. And, with Habby Bull and the whole situation here, I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. And, I felt if I could just get it and play and get playing every night that I'd make their decision tough, or at least try to. And so far, that's all I've been trying to do.
Sean, congratulations. You look great.
Thanks very much.
Sean Burke of the Phoenix Coyotes with a big victory tonight in overtime. 37 saves as the Coyotes win it over Vancouver. Out of towns tonight, Toronto 2-1 over the Calgary Flames. 32 saves for Curtis Joseph in that one. He was stupendous. Atlanta and Ottawa 6-6. The Senators led 3-0 at one point in time, but Donald Odette came back and had a hat trick for the Thrashers there. Montreal's on a bit of a roll. 3 by Brian Savage. That line of Linden, Ruchinski, and Savage had 13 points, of 5-3 victory there. Anaheim a 4-3 over Philadelphia. Teemu Selanne had the winning goal there, his 4th for the Ducks. Islanders in Washington tie at 4. Isbister with 2 for the Islanders. Nikolic and Dahlin with 2 each for the Capitals. 7-2 Jersey over Tampa Bay. Alex Mogilny had 2 assists. He now has 10 points, the former Canuck does, on the season. 5-2 for Pittsburgh over Columbus. Robert Long had 2 for the Penguins in that one. Jaromir Jagr an empty net goal. Detroit won it in overtime. Brendan Shanahan with his 2nd goal of the season, a 5-4 over Buffalo. And St. Louis, Scott Young, his 8th goal of the season. He leads the league 1-0 there, the victory. Dallas 4-3 over Los Angeles. Brett Hull 2 goals. He had 6. San Jose 5-3 over Nashville. The Predators had been hot. The Sharks fight them tonight, 5-3 the final there. And once again, the final here, Phoenix 3-2 over Vancouver. The goal from Jeremy Roenick in overtime. Big night for Sean Burke as the Coyotes win it over the Canucks. Jeremy Roenick gets the goal in overtime, beats Felix Potvin, his 5th of the season. Coyotes win it 3-2 over the Vancouver Canucks. Coyotes now have won 6 games this season. CFL on CBC next Saturday at 3 Eastern. Saskatchewan against the Edmonton Eskimos. The Eskimos still have a chance to be tops in the West. And then Labatt Saturday night, 6:30 Eastern. First game of the doubleheader, Toronto at Boston. The Bruins are struggling. Edmonton, Colorado, the second game of the doubleheader. Colorado, along with Ottawa, undefeated. For all of us, thanks for watching. 3-2 Coyotes the final. So long from Vancouver, British Columbia.